welcome into this week's episode of Play by Play. I am your host, Andy Horton, alongside my co-host, Jared Bergstrom. And well, Jared, this week we're going to talk about some March Madness, as we were out last week, so we didn't even get to do our brackets, though mine has been busted up very, very badly. So maybe we won't talk too much about that, as I had St. John's winning it all.
I had St. John's in the Elite Eight.
Oh,
so yeah, it was
it's been a rough one so far, but there were a handful of upsets that I called, and there were a lot that you called. So maybe we'll talk about
first
some of those.
time ever I made it through the first day with a perfect bracket, so I'll take it.
Really? First time ever? Mm-hmm. I think I've done it twice. So, but it did not happen this year. So we'll talk about all the March Madness action that has happened so far and preview week number 2.
Yeah.
And then also one of the most important days of the year is tomorrow, as it's opening day across the MLB. Not necessarily across the MLB.
No, because they started last week in Japan.
Yeah, I don't count that.
I don't either.
I don't care.
The opening day, the Reds should be the only team playing on opening day.
I won't go that far, but I don't know if the season technically starts until Cincinnati starts playing baseball. At least maybe not in my those games don't matter in my opinion until the Reds play. So
well, they're not in last in the division.
That's true.
Because Chicago lost to LA or Toronto? LA. I know they lost, I think 2. So we're not in last and the season's already started. So that's positive.
We will get into baseball towards the end of the show. But with all that being said, where exactly on Thursday are we going to start in the first 4?
Let's start in the first 4, because I went for the 11th year, not in a row because COVID took away 2 years, but 11th time, and for the most part, they didn't upset. I mean, they were not upset, but they were exciting, except for North Carolina.
Yeah, that was a shellacking that they put on San Diego State, and
that was the first time I've ever left the game early.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I left with like 10 minutes left.
Well, I mean, it was a 30-point game, so not too shocked. San Diego State, they did a good job in the second half, hanging around, but the problem was they just got murdered in the first half.
No, R.J. Davis, I think, had 5 threes in the first half.
He ended the game.
I think he ended with 6 or 7.
26 points. 6 for 6 from 3.
Okay,
yeah, so he knocked
6.
down all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just fantastic. 8 of 12 from the field total. And that was kind of the big story. Seth Trimble did have a good one off the bench as well. 5 of 10 shooting and 16 points. The 2 leading scorers for them. And then when you flip things over, San Diego State, they searched all up and down the roster for answers, and they didn't get many. Wayne McKinney had 12 off the bench, 5 of 8 shooting. But they struggled big time offensively in this one for most of the game. I mean, they got things going a little bit late, but, I mean, it was so late that...
It was kind of like, it reminded me of, this was a few years ago, the first 4, when Virginia went 13 straight scoreless minutes between the first half and the second half of not making a field goal.
I saw a bunch of people making that reference.
Yes, and it felt like that. It's like, I mean, San Diego State, like, they didn't just miss. I mean, it was dumb turnovers. The coach, I mean, I forget how quickly North Carolina jumped out, but, I mean, it was, I wouldn't have waited to the under 16 timeout to call a timeout to try to stop it. And the coach did, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, so San Diego State's 2 leading scorers, Miles Bird and Nick Boyd, they struggled. They combined for only 25 a game, so it's not like they, powerhouse scorers, but in the game they shot 5 of 19 combined and 2 of 12 from 3. And they're a team that has a very balanced attack. And like I said, those are their 2 leading scorers combined for 25, and their 3rd leading scorer gives them like 9 a game. So they don't score a ton of points, and so if you're going to let a team score 90 on you, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah, that was bad. The first game that day, actually, that one, and until the Texas Xavier game, the Alabama State and St. Francis game was going to be hard to live up because it was just back and forth, and literally Alabama State made a full court heave in right under the basket to score with like half a second left.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of people, one of my buddies was, in particular, was real sad for St. Francis because of Juan Cranford.
Yeah.
He played for
Wayne.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He had a great night.
Oh, yeah, he kept them in the game when they were down.
6 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, had 18 points. Valentino Pinedo also had 17 for him, 6 of 10 from the field, and 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Yeah, between the two of them, they were able to keep him in the game. And a lot of people thought that they were going to win it, but just the last second put in. Who was it that did it? Was it Knox?
I think so.
Or was it Hines?
Let me see if I can find it. So I found the play, so I guess we'll be able to.
Hines made the layup. Yep. Or no. It was Knox. My bad.
Ooh, let me make sure. Yes, I'm one. Sorry, we can go to laptop.
Turns it over out of bounds right there for St. Francis. And then the Hail Mary, full court. It's tipped around right into the right guy's hands. He's able to win it. And I guess I didn't notice that there was 0.7 left. St. Francis would have had St. Francis would have had a chance to do, the same thing, but they were not able to do the same thing.
No, that's kind of where it's like, I mean, if St. Francis fouled, they would have been in the 1-1, or they were in the 1-1, so it's like, with 3 seconds left, you have the ability to get up court and at least dribble to the three-point line. It's just, those are the decisions that the coach has to make, and I mean, you don't think he's going to put a bullet pass underneath the opposing team's basket like he did.
Yeah. One of the best Hail Marys I've ever seen.
Ooh, all right, then the second day, the 16 seeds weren't that great. American came back a little bit late to make it a game against Mount St. Mary's, got it under to single digits, but Mount St. Mary's was just, they were up about 15 the whole game. And then Texas Xavier. Ooh. That is the loudest I've ever heard UD.
Really?
Outside of probably the year they beat Boise in the first 4, that's the loudest it's ever been. I mean, the decibels was...
Don't make me throw stuff at you.
My watch said the decibel was at 120.
Yeah, that's right. You did text me
when they took the lead, or when they tied it, Xavier did. And it's just, it was a good game back and forth. I think they could, I've been saying it for a while, they could probably take out the 16 seeded games and just do all 11 and 12 seeds. At least then you're going to get more well-known colleges that people travel to see.
Yeah.
God, night 1.
So I guess that means that Xavier traveled well. Up 75.
Well, outside of UD, that's the closest team that's ever played in the first 4.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm sorry. Wright State did a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
They're closer. But okay, outside of those two, yes.
Well, that's really cool. I didn't know that. That's got to hurt for UD fans that Xavier was able to make it that loud. I mean, I know that it's not the rivalry is not the same anymore, but I still hate you guys. But yeah, Zach Fremantle had a pretty good game. Marcus Foster.
He got in foul trouble early. And
who?
Fremantle.
Yeah. He does that from time to time.
Okay.
and he was able to, still kind of do good enough, to get us back in the game, and he did a good job not fouling there in the second half.
Oh, he played like 6 minutes with 4 fouls, and I mean, I didn't really care who won. I just wanted an exciting game, and I got it. But there was people that were sitting next to me that came from Texas, and I didn't know Fremantle actually shot the 3. There was one time in the second half, I think one of his shot threes either tied it or cut the lead in half, and I didn't know he could hit a 3.
He only shot it at 30% this year, but he shoots it a little bit. I mean, he doesn't shoot a ton of them. Last year he shot 63%.
Dang.
That means he doesn't shoot a ton of them right there. But he knocked down 1 in the game. It was a big one. Marcus Foster knocked down 4 out of 5 of his, and had shot 8 of 9 with 22 points. Swain and Conwell both had games, but they ended up doing enough. Swain really struggled at points. He was only given like 1 turnover, but it felt like whoever was keeping stats was keeping them wrong, because it felt like he let a few more go than that, and he missed a fair amount of easy ones that we're used to seeing him make. So it was he didn't have the best game ever, but he had a fantastic game.
On defense, he did. He shut down. I think he was guarding Johnson.
I wouldn't be shocked.
But yeah, he played great defense. It says here he only forced 2 or had 2 steals, but I don't think they don't keep track of turnovers forced. But I mean, he forced a lot of off center passes, trying to feed it down low.
Well, and I'm a huge fan of Swain too. He's a 6'8" wing. I mean, he's listed as a guard, but he's more of a wing. 220. He's got great size, really long. He's built a lot like Jason Tatum. I'm not trying to say he's nearly that good, but he's built a lot like him. Maybe a little stronger at this point, to be honest.
Okay.
But
yeah, because Tatum wasn't like over explosive at Duke.
He's long. Like I said, he plays good defense, and he's really good at getting to the rim. And he shoots the ball okay from 3. I guess he only shot at 25%, but he was able to knock down a handful of them during tournament time. None in that first game, but he knocked down 2 against
Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois, and that I almost don't even want to talk about that. That was a ridiculous performance from Illinois.
We'll skip over it then.
I mean, we can talk about it. It's fine. There's definitely going to be a rebuild, though, because I guess we'll just talk about it now. Sean Miller. Well, who is Texas' coach? What was his name?
Rodney Thomas? Rodney Taylor?
Rodney something. I do not remember.
Hold on.
But he was the coach at Texas, and he got fired after their loss to Xavier, and then immediately, almost as soon as Xavier lost, the day or so after,
Rodney Terry,
there you go. Texas immediately called and swooped up
Miller.
Sean Miller, yeah.
I know, it's like I got the notification on my watch because I was at work, and it says Texas fires head coach Rodney Terry. And then I cleared it, and it's like not even 5 minutes later, Sean Miller likely hired to replace Rodney Terry at Texas. I was like, I mean, they had just lost to Illinois. I was like, crap.
And before that had happened, like me and my dad and my uncle in our group chat, we were talking about, losing him and whatnot, like the potential of losing him, how we thought it was very likely, how he would we wouldn't be shocked if he went to Texas. We literally called it before it happened. And so then it happened. My uncle was like, we were talking about this 15 hours ago. And exactly what we said was going to happen happened. So that sucked. But I'm not mad at Sean Miller. He is a fantastic coach. Texas has way more money, and specifically money for him to build a team. than we
How
do.
many years was he only back 1 year?
Two.
Two,
It was
okay.
his second year back with us. So I'm not mad that he left at all. It sucks that he left.
He took it. Well, he not officially took anybody with him, but Swain
Has entered the transfer portal.
and there's somebody else I
Was it
saw.
Conwell?
Yes.
And Conwell is also? Okay, I didn't know that. Hadn't seen that one yet. But not shocking. That's going to suck. But maybe they can get... maybe they can...
You're
pull
probably
him
going to
back.
get some New Mexico players to transfer with the hire.
Well, and New Mexico's got that really good kid. His name was Dent.
Where was New Mexico at? Oh, there they are. Yes, Donovan Dent.
Yeah, Donovan Dent. He scored 20 points per game for New Mexico this year on 49% shooting and 40% from three. So that would be amazing if we could.
And he's a junior, so I mean, you could potentially at least one more year for sure with him, and then he gets that COVID year.
Yeah, so it would be great to pull him over, and then also they have a very good senior center. I guess he's done more than likely, considering he's played five years. I was just looking at that, but I wouldn't be shocked if we get a couple of them. They got a guard named True Washington, who's a sophomore, scored 11 points a game. He's 6'4", and averaged 4 rebounds. So there's some guys that, like we said, wouldn't be too shocked if they move over, and the Dent guy is the big piece. And if they can pull Dent and, maybe keep a Swain or a Conwell, just keep one of them,
Yeah, because entering doesn't mean you're leaving.
that would be crazy, and that would be really good for Xavier in the future. We also got 2 guys committed in this year's class. They're both 4-stars. There's been no news on them yet, to my knowledge. But I'm trying to see, does ESPN have that readily available where I can find that, or do I got to go to 24/7?
Probably 24/7. They don't update it that much.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Yeah, I got a Jaden Forsyth and a Nick Lewis. I'm hoping that's how you say his name. That are both 4-stars committed to Xavier. There's been no news on them, to my knowledge. But a couple of good guards that could really help us out if they decide to stay. And then let me see if there's any transfer stuff happening yet, which I wouldn't be shocked if there is, but I wouldn't be shocked if there isn't. Because we've already seen that, what's his name, has transferred from Indiana to Ohio State, Gabe Cupps.
I didn't know if you saw it or not, but yeah.
Yeah, huge shout out to him. Congratulations on becoming a Buckeye. And a Buckeye in a sport that I could root for him. So there we go.
I tell you now, next year if you go to the St. John Xavier game, I want to go.
Oh, those tickets might be expensive, but we might. We'll see.
Why not? I want to see father versus son.
So yeah, so that gets us to the new hire. Yeah, I guess we did mention it. Did we actually say his name?
No,
But
I
it's
just said from New
Richard
Mexico.
Pitino.
Yeah.
So we got Richard Pitino, and I forgot about him for a minute, and my uncle texted me. He was like, maybe we can get Richard Pitino to be our head coach, and I was like, is he really going to leave St. John's? He was like, no, his son. I was like, oh, I totally forgot about him. Which also, I don't think we talked about it, but they were the first father-son duo ever to both win Coach of the Year in their respective conferences. So that's kind of cool. But I'm excited for the future of Xavier. There was some talk about Chris Mack maybe being coming back.
Bringing back coaches twice for a second time.
And I wasn't initially a fan of it, but the more I thought about it, the more I actually talked myself into it. Like, he didn't win a ton of big games, but we were really, really good.
Didn't he?
We were.
Took him to the Elite Eight, didn't he? Or was that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But we were really good when he was there. That's when we had J.P. McCura and
he's a good recruiter.
Trayvon Blewett, and I think that was one of the Najee Marshall teams. That was a really good team, and so we didn't win a lot of big games with him, but I would have been okay with him coming back if you give me some more of those Trayvon Blewett years. That was a lot of fun to be a Xavier fan with him and JP just kicking butt. So I would have been down for that again, but we'll take the new up-and-coming star coach. And I was listening to the Chatterbox this morning talking about it. They got a Xavier guy that they talk to from time to time. I don't remember his name, his full name. His first name's Paul. He was talking, and he said that he kind of thinks that he insinuated, at least maybe, that he kind of thinks that Rick being there at St. John's kind of makes it a little more likely that Richard stays longer because, he gets to play his dad twice a year, at least twice a year. That could be a lot of fun for the two of them. So I hope that's the case because I don't want for him to be here for 2 years and then for Duke to fire John Shire and
he go to Duke
or whatever. I just don't.
He could replace Rick when he retires. Man. It's like, oh, you're already winning the conference, so just come out to New Jersey
but that's
or
my
New York.
Point. I don't want that to happen. So
yeah, he's been a head coach. He was an assistant head coach at Louisville under his dad. Then he was head coach at Florida International. He was I didn't realize he was at Minnesota for 8 years. And then the past 4 at New Mexico. So yeah, he definitely.
Well, New Mexico had like a lot of older dudes last year, and a lot of people were thinking, oh, how are they going to be able to rebuild, reload, and they're going to be down this year. They were 27-8. They were not down this year.
No.
They might have lost a game or two more. I'm not sure what their record was last season, but I don't think 27-8 is a down year.
And making it to the second weekend of the tournament or second day of the tournament. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, all right, so let's go through round 1. We don't really have to. I mean, the higher seeds, we don't really have to spend too much time. Auburn. I will say Alabama State kept it close the first half, but Auburn just ran away with it.
Mm-hmm. I thought the same thing. And really, they didn't run away with it.
No, I mean, only a 20-point win. Yeah.
So they were able to hang around, but it's like they're just that. They're 10 points worse a half than Auburn.
Let's see. Creighton, they just dominated Louisville from the get-go.
I knew that was going to happen, too. Like, I knew a lot of people were picking that one, and I was shocked. I was like, really? Because
I liked what Pat Keeley did this year with Louisville.
Sure, but they were one of the worst teams in college basketball last year.
Last year they didn't win a conference game.
Yeah, I just didn't see them going from one of the worst teams in college basketball to winning tournament games. That just seemed like a very far stretch, especially against the Creighton team that
Greg McDermott has been there forever.
And they play their style of basketball. They play really aggressive defense.
Shoot the shit out of the three.
Shoot all sorts of threes, and they just put a lot of pressure on you. And they did that.
See, a lot of people was picking Louisville, and I was like, ooh, man, you guys are going to lose the first game from the first get-go.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Clemson got me. That was.
Oh, you didn't pick McNeese?
No.
I picked McNeese. And I was they were up on Clemson almost the whole game. by 15.
Yeah,
It seemed like, and they came back late.
A massive run and just came up just short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one got me on day one, and Drake got me.
You didn't pick Drake? Oh,
No.
I picked him for 1.
Oh, and Arkansas might have. I don't remember which side I picked. I might have picked Arkansas.
I picked
though,
Arkansas
because-
just because Kansas was just, they were just down. And it was weird to see them just so down. And
You know how good you got to be for 21-13 to be down.
I know. You know, Kansas is only the second ever AP #1 preseason team to lose in the first round of the
I
tournament.
saw that. That is pretty nuts.
Sorry, they are the second preseason #1 seed to do that. You know who the other one was? Kansas. They've done it twice.
That's funny.
Let's see. Michigan, UC San Diego. I had turned it off because Michigan was up like 28-5. So I flipped it over and then I saw the thing going up.
I never actually turned it on, but I saw the lead shrinking, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what is happening?"
Well, I'm sitting there. I didn't work on Friday, so I stayed up and watched all those games. But hell, Jim's in bed, and I'm sitting there screaming at the TV because I had Michigan. And we'll talk about it. I had Michigan going a decent in the tournament, and they cut it to 3. I was like, "Fuck!" And then they tied it, and I was like, "Shit!" But oh, thank God. You can't lose to the Tritons. I'm sorry, you can't be taken
I
seriously.
didn't know that UC San Diego was a school.
Well, this is their first year of eligibility into the tournament.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
So, but yeah. Yale, their comeback came up short. They've been upsetting some people the last handful of years. North Carolina, that was the first game that got me. You scored 95 on San Diego State and then drop a donut on.
see, I just had them going to the Sweet 16. I was.
Oh, you had them going that far?
I think.
I had them losing in the second round.
Who would they have played in the second round?
Iowa State,
Or
Lipscomb. That was who
I
they-
had Iowa State.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have had them beating Iowa State. I don't remember.
I had them winning 1 just because of what I saw in the first 4. It's like, oh, well, you guys people are calling them frauds because they went 1-12 and 13 quad 1 games and didn't know that their AD was on the selection committee. So that kind of raises a few eyebrows too. But yeah, I figured, they should be able to handle Ole Miss. Nope. Let's see. Shaka Smart continues his first weekend exit. Another year he ends it early, goes home on the first day.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, the year he took VCU to the Final Four, he won 5 games because they went first 4 to the Final Four. Since then, because he coached at Texas and now he's at Marquette, he's only won 4 March Madness games. In the 3 years at Texas, he went 0-3 that they made it, and then he's 3 wins at Marquette.
Yeah, that's.
And 2 of those were last year when they went to the Sweet 16. So, I'm sorry, he's a good coach, but I don't want him as my coach when it comes to March time.
It's so weird because that's where he made his name, you know.
Right.
But it's been rough sledding ever since.
Michigan State, they gave everybody a scare. I know the score doesn't reflect it, but they gave everybody a scare in that first game.
Well, and actually, real quick before we go there,
Okay.
didn't they go to the Sweet 16 like the year after that too? They made it. They made the huge run, and then I think they made the Sweet 16 the year after as well, which even makes it worse because that means
They might have,
because that means that
because that was a good team.
Yeah, because that would mean that they had what, 2 wins since then or something?
I think I took a screenshot of it. Let me look. And I'll throw it up in post too, if I have it. I did not have it. But yeah, it's bad. It's been a bad trek for Shaka. Let me see. 2011 was that year, so
2011 was the year that they went to the Final Four.
yep.
2012, I guess they beat Wichita State, and then they lost to Indiana by 2 in the second round. So I thought that they won 2, but they hadn't.
But outside of that, he's only got 4 wins since in March Madness. So yeah, time to.
I mean that 1 year, and then the year he went to the Sweet 16. Every other year he's been
one and done.
Yeah. Or just done.
Yeah, because there was
There's been a couple of those too.
let's see.
Yeah, you said something about Michigan State.
Yeah. Oh God, Bryant. Bryant was up on him they were up on him like 10 points early, and I mean Michigan State didn't get past 15 till under 10 minutes left in the first half. It's like, God, is this really gonna? I mean, this is Middle Tennessee State all over again, with a year that was the first game of the tournament, and I lost because I had Michigan State winning it all that year, because that was I think that was Cassius Winston and all them their senior year. It's like, all right, yeah, nope,
Nope.
But yeah, they ended up turning it around. And then they had a little bit of scare against New Mexico State in the second round too. So I know we'll probably pick what's left games, but Ole Miss, I'm not going to overlook just yet. Let's see, out of the South region.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna go on a side note, little tangent, real quick.
Okay.
Because you just said Ole Miss, and it's not the same, but Mississippi State. I was over at my buddy's house watching the girls' tournament the other night, and I saw the Juju Watkins injury happen live.
Oh.
That sucked.
Yeah.
That was gross.
That sucks for them.
Hope she gets better soon. But I hate USC fans. I hate USC fans so bad because until they got tired of booing, every time Mississippi State touched the ball, they would just boo the entire possession. It almost lasted the whole first half.
It was not an intentional foul.
She went over. She wasn't going to let her get an easy layup, so she just went over, and it was a little body bump. She didn't, like you said, she didn't intentionally hurt her.
No.
Sure, it was kind of an intentional foul. I mean, but she was just, it wasn't a non-basketball play.
Yeah, she wasn't going out to hurt her.
Yeah, and those kind of things happen all the time, and players are just fine.
Yeah.
Juju.
Does it happen that it happens to the best college basketball women's player? Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. But to be booing, I thought it was classless. I hate USC fans. So, anyways, back to the men's tournament.
Well, kind of. I'll piggyback off that a little bit. I do like it that the higher seed for their little quadrant in women's basketball, they host for the first 2 rounds, and that makes a lot more money for the women's tournament. So at one point, is the men's going to realize, hey, we can make a lot more money if you have all these fans from your hometown, or at least the section, be there.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because if you play that St. John's Arkansas game in St. John's, Arkansas doesn't have a chance in hell.
Yeah, but also I feel like that tilts the. That's a big advantage, home court. And I am very pro upset. like in March Madness. So I think that would make it so.
I mean, I still think it'll happen. I think the upsets would happen,
of course.
but yeah.
But like, I think it'd make it a little less likely.
Because I mean, it's not.
And
I mean, it's not as. I mean, like when North Carolina and Duke were always 1 seeds, and we're playing in Charlotte and they're in Raleigh. That's not that big of a travel for them. So.
Well, and I like the fact that the high seeds get the closer. But it's being in the home gym. That one's kind of different. I don't know. I do like it. I don't know if that's too big of an advantage to give to a 1 seed. And it's the top 4 seeds. You know,
Yeah.
that they get them. So
I mean, you could imagine Middle Tennessee State beating Michigan State in East Lansing.
I don't think that would happen. I don't think that they would do it in East Lansing, because when like Middle Tennessee State, Michigan State made a comeback in that game, right? When that comeback happens, does the crowd, is that enough to just take Middle Tennessee out of it? Because when it's on a neutral location, the crowd is actually on the other is on the side of the lower seed, because there's the fans who are there for Michigan State, and then everyone who isn't a fan of Michigan State, they're like, oh my God, we're gonna get to see a 1 seed lose. Let's go Middle Tennessee. So, or a 2 seed, whatever it is. So I don't know. Like, I kind of like the fact that since it's at a neutral site, the lower seed kind of gets the fan advantage in a lot of situations.
Yeah. I mean, the NCAA is always trying to make money. It's like, well, that'd be the biggest money maker, is keeping the top 4 seeds at home for 2 games.
Well, especially for.
Or if one of those upsets happen, like say the number 1 seed gets upset, they ain't coming back for the second round games.
Right. But like, especially for like some of these smaller schools, like, let me just go through and look.
High Point, McNeese,
Well,
Troy.
but those teams wouldn't get the high seeds.
Oh.
Like, Arizona doesn't have. Arizona's not a small school.
No.
But also, Arizona doesn't get like the most money out of their. They're in the Big 12, so they have a good football. They have a good like media deal and stuff, but not the greatest. So that would definitely help them out if they could host. Or I mean, shoot, Houston. What conference are they in?
Big 12.
They're also in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, that could help them out. Well, I'm looking at all the 1s and 2 seeds and 3 seeds, and they're all in major conferences this year, which is just weird. So weird. Like, not even like a Creighton or somebody like that got one.
No.
But I just hope that the NIL hasn't ruined college basketball from just by the fact that just stacking the greatest, all the best players on rosters, and it's like, oh yeah, we're not even going to use this kid, but I'm going to pay him $1 million just so he can't go and play for another
Against
team.
me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't like that.
That and the transfer portal has. I mean, you can play for four different teams in 4 different years, and not have to pay consequences. Okay, so let's look at the West. We picked Colorado State to beat Memphis in the first round.
I picked them to win in the second round too.
I did too.
And I was so upset that they let that travel go.
Damn you, refs.
That one was pretty. I thought it was pretty obvious too. But
4 steps is.
Was it 4?
Yeah.
I thought it was 3. But
I thought it was 4 when he actually got the ball, but. And then nothing else. Drake. I picked Drake to win a game. But other than that, nothing else.
I had St. John's to win it all. So
I had St. John's.
When they lost to Arkansas.
Yeah, I had St. John's. I actually had St. John's losing to Florida, so I had them winning 2 more games. Let's see. Other side of the bracket, I don't think there was any. Well, the McNeese over Clemson. Gonzaga, they were up 25-3 on Georgia at one point in the first half.
Yeah, I did see that. You guys were shellacking them.
St. Mary's, thank God, they came back at the end of that first day. because I had them, and Vanderbilt was up 10 on them most of the second half, and I was like, oh. BYU, yes. Yeah, nothing outstanding there. Duke, they were up, I think, 30 to. I think they were at 40 by the time Mount St. Mary's got to 10. Yeah. Let's see. Second round.
And they did that one without Cooper, right?
No, he played back in that one. He started.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Second round. Second round, there was no. Well, I don't know. Do you call Ole Miss over Iowa State an upset? I mean, 6-3.
Not really.
No.
I mean, it is an upset, but the SEC got 14 teams in.
Mm-hmm. And now they
They
have.
were so good.
How many they got left?
7.
Ouch. Big Ten has 3 left. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That Florida UConn game, I don't know if you watched any of that, but that one was a good one.
No, I didn't. I know that Dan Hurley was very upset, though.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Baylor, I hope they don't do you like they did us.
Yeah, that was.
That was awesome.
Well,
He's such a character, and a lot of people don't like him for it. I love Dan Hurley.
That video, I guess there was more that was to it, but I saw that, I guess the police are involved because I guess one of the assistant coaches went and tried to forcefully take that reporter's phone and made threats against him. I saw the ESPN notification against that yesterday. It's like, ooh, that is not a good look for UConn. Having one of your assistant coaches go and.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Then the Arkansas over St. John's, that was bad. Hell, Calipari, last 4 years at Kentucky, he had won 2 tournament games. Here, his first year in Arkansas, he wins 2.
You know, sometimes you just need to
Change the scenery.
Yeah, change the scenery.
Go from blue to red. Let's see. Nothing else really. I was so mad that Gonzaga's comeback came up short. Cut it to 3. They were down 14 with 2 minutes left. Got it to 3 and just ran out of momentum. I mean, when you can sub 5 on and 5 off for Houston, yeah, that's hard to beat anybody. And now I guess that takes us to the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, because I will say, God, Alabama, Robert Morris. I took Robert Morris with the points, and I got 20 points with Robert Morris, and Alabama only beat him by 9. I really thought, I was like, I'm going to lose to the Horizon League champion. Robert Morris is going to bust my bracket. Because they did not go away at all. I mean, Robert Morris was down like 5, I think, at most in the second half until they started that fouling situation.
Well, last year it was Jack Golke in
Oakland for
the Horizon League.
Kentucky. Yeah.
You know, the Horizon League, we got some good basketball players.
How long has Robert Morris been in the Horizon League? Because I didn't realize.
Not very long.
Okay.
Not very long.
Because I was like, because when I was looking at it, it's like, oh wait, they're in the Horizon League. I didn't realize that.
2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Like literally.
All right. All right. So you want to? Anything else you want to talk about from the first weekend?
I don't know. Was there that much that? Was there anything that we didn't really talk about?
Let's see.
I was just disappointed because there was not nearly as much madness as what there should have been.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
UConn, I did take a screenshot of this. UConn, they had the longest winning streak in tournament history, winning 13 games. Their first tournament win when they went back-to-back starting 2 years ago was against Walter Clayton's Iona team, and it ended against Walter Clayton's Florida team. So in those 2 years, Clayton went to Florida and beat him. I did see Virginia. You know how Virginia, they made history. First 1 seed to ever lose in the Sweet 16. You want to know who they hired as their coach? Ryan Odom, who was the coach of UMBC when they beat him. So he
No.
made a full circle.
That's awesome. Love that. Something else I also love, before we pick this week's games, I guess, something else I also love, I think I sent you the meme too, was I just finished filling out my March Madness bracket, and someone just wrote in Sharpie, giant over top of it, the Chiefs were down 34-0 in the Super Bowl. I love that, just got to throw that back
Rub it
out
in.
there.
Rub it in.
Rub it in. Hate the Chiefs. So.
All right, so let's start. I guess we'll start up in the South region. We got 1 Auburn versus 5 Michigan.
Okay. Sorry, I had to get to the right.
Oh,
Oh wait, is that Friday? Is that a Friday game?
the 28th.
Yes.
That is.
Yes, it is a Friday game.
They all might be Fridays, I think.
No,
aren't
they're
they?
not.
Oh, they're not?
It's Thursday and Friday.
Okay. Well, hopefully there's no good games on Thursday because I'm going to be watching Reds opening day.
There are probably Texas Tech and Arkansas. Let's just do the Thursday games.
Okay.
Or no, wait, let's do the
We'll just go in bracket
like
order?
the bracket order, yeah.
Okay.
Like you said. Never mind.
All right, so we got Auburn and Michigan. I said earlier, when I was watching the Michigan UC San Diego game, I had Michigan winning a couple games, and this is one of them. I haven't won. I think they can beat Auburn. Auburn, that Creighton game, Michigan shoots a lot of threes like Creighton does. Michigan doesn't make a lot of threes, but if they can get the lucky roll a couple times against Auburn, Auburn's not a great team to play once they're behind because they just force a lot more turnovers and errors. So I'm going to take the Wolverines.
Wow. Ain't that crazy. Well, my bracket's pretty darn busted up, so at this point I don't care about that anymore. I am in the 77th percentile. So
Of busted brackets?
of like that means that
Oh.
there's like 23% of brackets are better than mine.
Okay.
But so hey, it's
Yeah.
it's busted up, but it's not too bad. That being said, since it's busted up,
I was about to say, wait till you add the points from not getting this
I was
week.
gonna say, and I don't care at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
You just want madness in the rest of the time.
You're gonna get madness. Hey, it worked.
It worked for college football.
And it worked for the NFL. It didn't work 100% for the
No,
NFL.
you got
There's
close.
still madness. There's still crazy chaos. So I'm gonna try and use some of that wishing and wanting to get some madness here. And yeah, let's go Michigan.
All
I'll
right.
say it for Jared because I know he wouldn't actually say that. Let's go Michigan.
And then on the bottom half, we got Ole Miss at 6 and 2-seeded Michigan State. I got a Big Ten Elite 8 game. I'm taking the Spartans.
I don't know if we're gonna disagree too much.
Probably not.
Because I also agree. I'm picking the Spartans.
Let's see. We got Florida and Maryland. Maryland shouldn't even be in this game, so I'm taking the Gators. Cost me $75. Bastards.
I was pretty upset about that call too because I had Colorado State in my Sweet 16. I thought they were a really good team this year, and they should be playing right now or playing on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and also pick Florida. Screw Maryland.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but side note, when they were talking about the group of freshmen that they have, and they were playing Michigan in the Big Ten championship, and they call themselves the Crab Five. No, sorry, that you're stealing off of the Fab Five of Michigan.
What,
I know it's not
Maryland
true.
does?
Yeah, they call themselves the Crab Five. So yeah,
That's gross.
you'll be
I
going
don't
home.
even know how that sounds like a good nickname.
No, that sounds like an STD.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
So-
exactly what I was thinking. I just wasn't gonna say it.
So they'll be.
There you go, Jared.
I'll say it. I don't care.
Arkansas and Texas State
I'm.
and Texas Tech.
I was about to say Texas State. Then I'm definitely taking
They're playing in
Arkansas.
the Crown, I think.
Okay.
Or the CBI.
I think that's
They're
what
in
it's.
one of them.
Yeah. I'm going to take Arkansas. Let's see if this change of scenery has done it for Cal.
I think it has. I think.
I mean, I never not liked him. I mean, he's always been a good coach.
People just don't like Kentucky.
Yeah.
I feel pretty much the same way. I never really hated Kentucky. They were annoying because they were so good for a while, but it was like.
Yeah, it's never a hatred. It's
they're
like
Kentucky. Of course they're good.
I mean, it's like was hating UConn women's forever because they won 200 games in a row.
Something like that.
But I mean, you can't hate greatness. Well,
you can.
Back over in where are we at? The East, Duke and Arizona. Duke won by 50. They won by 23. I think they'll win by 15.
I don't think they'll win by 15, but I think they will win. It's a 9.5 point spread. I would take
Zona with the points.
I would take for sure. And if there's anybody that puts fear into the hearts of Duke fans, it is Caleb Love.
Oh, he's still at Arizona. I thought he left or graduated.
He is still there.
Oh.
In his 17th year of college basketball. I think in all actuality, yeah, this is year number 5, so I think he's done.
Okay, he has to be. I think
averaging 16.5 points a game on 39% shooting, but he has
can't have 27-year-olds living with 19-year-olds in college.
Made Duke fans very, very. I mean, he's given them nightmares over the years.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been at Arizona for 3 years, and so the 2 years that he was at North Carolina, those were great games. He beat them in the Final Four to go to the national championship game.
Mm-hmm. And they got they got a pretty good team around him. With Trey Townsend there, Jaden Bradley, J.K. Lewis. It's not just him. They score 81 points a game. They play good defense. We will see. They're not a very good 3-point shooting team, so it'll be kind of difficult.
Don't be down double digits going into the final 3 minutes against Duke, and you're going to have to start forcing them.
Yeah, and they do got some size. As their third leading scorer, maybe it's their fourth. Yeah, their third leading scorer is 7 foot tall. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you say his name, but
let me look.
Henry Visar.
I think you're right.
Hey, there you go. I'm not as dumb as what I feel like sometimes. But like I said, they're deep because they really only have 3 guys that score in double figures. But then when you go down the lineup, between 9 points and 7, they got 5 guys. So they have dudes that they are not the world's biggest contributors, but they come off the bench and they do big things for them. And they're gonna have to watch out for Toby Awaka. I think it's Toby Awaka shoots 40% from 3. So he's going to be a very important player in this game, I would probably say. And then you can say the same thing about Anthony Del Orso. 41% 3-point shooter. And then maybe even Conrad Martinez, 44%. So they do got guys that you can knock them down. I guess they just don't get to shoot too many of them. But it's going to be tough for them to beat Duke. That's why I'm not picking them.
I'm not picking them.
Battle.
Yeah.
But I think that one could be a lot of fun.
And in the bottom half of that bracket, we got number 2 Alabama and number 6 BYU.
It sucks that Duke game is on.
It's on Saturday, isn't it?
No,
Friday.
It's on.
Oh, it's
Thursday.
on.
But it's at 9:30.
It's at 9:40.
So it's a 9:30 at night. So that's fine. I'll be able to watch that.
Yeah.
Because the Reds game should be far over by then. Hopefully.
I gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna watch the Reds game. I don't have the FanDuel thing.
I think you can. They got free trials that you can.
Okay, then I'll start it and cancel it because I don't know if I'm going to commit to paying $20 a month. If they get in that period where they piss me off.
You can do the full season for $100.
Oh, the one I saw was for $200. I was like, oh, I'm not doing it.
No, that's for year round.
Oh.
That's for all 3 sports year round. But I just want Reds. I don't care about.
I watch enough Cavs on replays on YouTube anyway. But no, I'm going to take BYU. I think I like the 3-point shooting from BYU. I'm going to take the Cougars. Is that what they are?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take the Cougars.
I'm just picking against Alabama because one of the guys on Chatterbox is a Alabama fan, and he hates lower seeds, and so.
Well, screw him. He should have lost to Robert Morris. Screw him.
Exactly. So, so he's very, very against Cinderella's. It's like that's literally.
Oh well, he can go to hell. That's what March Madness is about.
For real, like so. Just because of that, I'm picking against BYU. I'm picking against Alabama.
There you go. All right, bottom in the Midwest, Houston and Purdue. I picked Purdue to win the first game, but they almost Purdue'd it because Purdue is known for choking away games in March. So I'm going to take Houston. Houston just looks like a better all-around team, and when you can sub 4 on and 4 off or 5 on and 5 off, it's tough to beat. They can stay refreshed and rejuvenated. So I'm going Cougars, back-to-back picks.
Yeah, I could see them really hurting. I could see them really beating up on Purdue. Mm-hmm. I mean, it'd be cool to see Purdue beat them and go back to the Elite Eight and maybe go on another championship run. They got good players. Hey, Lawyer Fletcher and Brendan Smith, they took huge strides this season. They're way better than what I expected for them to be able to take those big steps. Smith averaging 16 points a game, shooting 38% from 3. And Lawyer shooting 45% from 3 on almost 14 points a game. So they don't have a lot of depth, but their starting rotation is very good.
That's the only reason I'm not picking them is because they just don't have the depth.
But also, like, if Daniel Jacobson can play without fouling, he's 7.5 feet tall almost. He's 7'4". He's bigger than Zach Edey. Frickin', if he can play, I guess he's only played 2 games.
Never mind.
Yeah, when was the last time he played?
Probably November 3rd.
Oh, at the beginning of the season.
Oh, jeez.
So I wonder if he got hurt. That
must have.
That really sucks because I thought that he could have been a factor, but never mind. 7'4". That's a big guy. I guess to expect for him to come back next year.
And then the bottom half of that bracket, you got Kentucky and Tennessee, an SEC. Hey, so at least an SEC school will be going home in that matchup.
I'm picking Tennessee.
See, I'm going to flip. I'm going to take Kentucky. I like what Pope's doing. And they beat Tennessee. I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year, but they beat Tennessee both times this year. So I'm going to take the Wildcats. You want madness? Let's have Arkansas play Kentucky for the championship.
Oh, yeah?
That would be insane. And it can match up that way.
That would be pretty crazy.
Cal leaves and they both meet in the championship. Granted, that means the SEC would win, but I would like to see that matchup.
That would be fun, but at the same time, I don't want to see Cal. I don't want to see the SEC win.
Right. So let's see now. I mean, we'll have to talk about it because we won't be back until this weekend's over. So we both had Michigan and Michigan State in the Elite Eight. So who are you taking to move on to the Final Four? I will go out on a limb and say the winner will come from the state of Michigan.
Wow. What a wild concept, Jared. I guess I'm just gonna go out on a limb and pick Michigan. Why not?
I was hoping we were going to disagree because I'm taking the Wolverines too. And not now, like I said, I know it's hard to beat the team 3 times, but I don't think Michigan State will beat them this 3rd time. They swept them in the regular season. I love what Dusty May's doing. That's the smartest thing that Michigan did was hire Dusty May. You got to get away from former players. It's not always good. Dayton.
Oh, that wasn't subtle at all.
No.
So, okay, the next game?
We both picked Florida. Did we both pick Arkansas?
Yes.
Okay. let's just ride with the. No, I'm going to pick Florida. I think Coach Cal's run will end there. But because the only reason I say that, and let me make sure. Let me look at Florida. Let me look at their schedule because I feel like they handled Arkansas both times. No, they only played them once, and Florida won by 5. Then who? Oh, it was the Tennessee game I was thinking of with them. Yeah, Tennessee beat Florida by 40, and then Florida turned around and beat it by 30 at home. No, I like this Florida team better than the Arkansas. So I'll take Florida, move on to the Final Four.
I think I'm going to take Arkansas.
All right. I'm not going to be mad. Like I said, I love Coach Cal. So I would not be mad at seeing him get back. Be the 4th different team he's taken to the Final Four if it gets that far.
Crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. Do you know his other 3?
I mean, obviously Kentucky.
Yeah.
Actually, I do not know if I know where he was before then. Was he at Memphis?
He was at Memphis. He took them. I don't think he'd get the last one.
I have no clue where I'll see.
UMass, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I throw in a subtle trivia side note. Let's see. So in the other one,
he took UMass to a Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, he's a coach.
And you want to know why the rivalry between him and Pitino is so hard? Is because he beat Kentucky when Pitino was there in the Final Four to go to the championship. And Pitino is graduated from UMass. So he beat him with his own team.
Wow. Okay. I like it. Spicy.
So on the other side, we got Duke. Did we both pick BYU?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm sorry, but I can't pick against the nation's best player. I got to go Cooper Flagg.
Cooper Flagg is so good.
Yeah.
That kid is ridiculous.
Well, when I saw him roll the hell out of that ankle in the ACC tournament, I was like, oh, God, they're going to because not knowing how bad it was, like, God, they're going to lose. I wouldn't say they'd lost in the first round, but they'd be a second round done. And then, he comes out and drops. Oh, his stat line for that game was insane, I believe. No, not too bad. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. So not as bad as what I thought. But yeah, unless BYU shoots 100% from 3, I think Duke will probably handle them. I think Duke has definitely the size advantage over the Cougars.
Yeah, it's really hard to pick against Cooper Flagg. And if I was going to do it, it was going to be against Arizona because I trust the crap out of them. But
and then the bottom, we got, I think we both have, well, no, I have Houston and Kentucky, and you have Houston and Tennessee?
yes.
I'm taking Houston over either matchup. A, get the SEC out, but B, Kelvin Sampson is just, his team plays mistake-free. And I think that's why he's had success at Houston, and it's going to move him to the Final Four again.
Yeah, Houston. I never watch. I don't know if I've watched a Houston game in the last 2 years. I just know they're really good.
The last time I was
I know
Gonzaga,
I tried to watch them one time, and it was very boring.
It is. They
won.
don't.
It was just boring, and I was like, how are they?
They're
how
not
are they
one
better
to.
than everyone?
They don't. They're not down. They come down. They set an offense, run the offense, take 25 out of the 30 seconds off the shot clock every time, and then the other team goes down and tries to score in 10 seconds, and there you go. So you give Houston a chance to take off 45 seconds, every other possession, you limit your numbers. And so, yeah, I got them moving on to the Final Four.
Yeah, somehow I do too. Isn't that crazy?
All right, so wait, so that means our Final Four is Michigan and so you got I got Florida, you got Arkansas. We both picked Duke and we both picked Houston.
But if there's one I might be wrong about, I think it's Arizona.
Okay.
I know how good Duke is and Cooper Flag, but
all it takes is him to roll that ankle one more time.
I just got a feeling that Caleb Love is gonna be a menace in that game. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see him knocking Duke off. I might actually pick that on FanDuel.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I'm definitely taking Arizona plus the points because what'd you say it was 10.5?
9.5.
9.5. So I think Arizona can keep it within 10, but like what if you pick Arizona straight up? What is it? Plus 380? Yeah. I can definitely see that. All right, are we moving over to baseball?
Yes.
Opening day? Anything else? Nothing in the NBA you want to say? Anything real quick, or are we just going to get back to that next week? It sucks for Dame. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. It sucks for Milwaukee, period.
Yeah.
That completely takes them out of.
So let me just pull up the standings, and then I'll throw them up. Crap, this isn't numbered. That's the brightness, so I don't want that one. Oh, well, we're just going to go like this. So, looking here in the East, Milwaukee's sitting there at the 5 seed. They are 4.5? No, sorry, 5.5 up on the play-in games. Let me see how many games Milwaukee has left.
And they're 10 games up on the Heat for the 10 seed. So they're locked into the playoffs.
Right.
But they got 11 games left. They've played 71 games.
Oh, I guess I could have just added the total games.
Yeah, that definitely is going to hurt Milwaukee for sure. They're probably pretty solid there at either 5 or 6, but I mean that means second round or first round they're going to get the Knicks or the Pacers, and without Dame, does Giannis have enough to do it by himself? I mean,
I don't think so.
Kyle Kuzma, he's going to have to step up big time, and so is Bobby Portis. But are you really going to get all of your production from your small and power forwards?
No.
Gary Trent can. It gives them a little bit of a boost. It gives them 11 points a game. They don't have anyone on their roster that can make up for the loss of him. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be tough sledding for them. And
then was it Vassell that I saw that is out for the rest of the year or was it Fox that's out for the rest of the year for San Antonio?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought I saw somebody.
I didn't see that. I know Wemby's out.
Yeah, Wemby was out, but I thought I saw over the last week that somebody else is hurt. So it's not Vassell because he just scored.
Oh yeah, season-ending surgery to repair a tendon damage in his pinky finger.
Who was that?
Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, that hurts.
Oh well, come back next year, make a big return, big run. Pop comes back next year, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really looked at the standings. How's the standings? Oh God, the Lakers have fallen. 3-7 in their last 10, and they were the 3 seed last time we looked at it, weren't they?
Something like that.
They're
yeah.
down to 5, and
I mean, things are very congested in between 2 and 6. I mean, it's 6 games separate all of those teams, but specifically between 2 and 5, 13 and a half and 16 and a half back. So those 4 spots have 3 games between them.
And then the playing games, there's still, I mean, Clippers are half a game back from getting out of that. Same with the Timberwolves. The Kings and Suns are 7.5 back from that. So it's a tight spot for that 6 through 8 seed then.
Mm-hmm. And the Lakers
Did somebody get hurt?
a long time.
Did I miss something?
Not that I know of, but for a month and a half or so, they were the best offense in the NBA, and they gave up 118 to the Bucks, 146 to the Bulls, and 118 to the Magic in the last 3.
Oh my God!
And then they had 3 really good defensive games where they held the Suns to 96, held the Spurs to 109, held the Nuggets to 108. So those last 2 not necessarily really good defensive games, but much better defensive games. But the 4 games before that they lost, gave up 111, 126, and 131. So they either play good defense and win,
or don't play defense.
They don't play defense at all. Freaking.
All right, so I was looking. So Cleveland clinched their division. How has Boston not clinched their division?
Because the Knicks are in the same division.
Oh.
And they're like right behind us.
Now 7.5. Well, I guess if Boston goes on a losing streak, they could. But, all right. But they've clinched a playoff spot officially. And then Oklahoma City just out here blowing the whole Western Conference away. Clinched the conference, I think, last weekend.
Something like that.
60 and 20, or 60 and 12, sorry.
Something like that. Yeah, there was a report that came out like a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks, where like no one in the NBA actually sees them as a real contender. Like that was a report that came out from like how people feel about them around the league. And it's hard to argue.
I know, because it was like this. They were like this last year. And we thought they were too young last year.
Well, and then they actually surprised me in the playoffs last year. They played a lot better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
But there's just still something that I don't trust about them. I don't know why. It might just be the fact that they're OKC, and they had Harden and KD and Westbrook, and they couldn't make that work. But, I don't know. And also, aren't they dealing with like a bunch of injury issues?
They might be. I thought they were. They got through most of that, but they could be.
Well, it does look like Chet's back, so that's big for them. But also, he's so fragile. Like
he is. He needs to put on some muscle.
Playing. I mean, dude, he's 7'1", 208 pounds.
Oh, that's 108 pounds. Jesus.
208 pounds. I mean.
Oh, yeah, that's. Yeah, he's got to put on some muscle or something. I don't know. Or if not, he's going to be going through the same stuff again next year.
Yeah. Well, and like the thing is, Wemby's a couple inches taller, but I'm pretty sure Wemby weighs way more. And it's like, bro, you gotta put on some weight so you don't just kill yourself. Wemby is 7'3", 235 pounds. He outweighs him by 28 pounds. Can you imagine how much more durable Chet would be if he just put on a little bit of weight? Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to trust.
Trust the Thunder. I mean, well, like last year, they swept the 1 seed game, and then they lost to, I think it was Dallas in that second round, because Dallas and Denver played each other in the conference finals.
No, they didn't. Dallas lost. Wait, you said who?
Didn't Dallas and Denver play in the finals,
No,
conference finals last
Denver
year?
lost to Minnesota in the second round last year. Remember?
Oh no, I thought it was Dallas. Oh no, because Dallas beat Minnesota, didn't they, in the conference finals? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that'll do it for.
Because it was just that same old story that we're just kind of used to about when you get to big moments in the playoffs, Rudy Gobert is useless.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Because Luka had that game winner,
just couldn't. Yeah.
drilled it over him. I remember that now. Yeah. All you had to do is put a hand up, Rudy. All right, so that we'll get more into basketball next week. Who knows? We might have more conference or transfers and everything to report next week too.
Mm-hmm. So now to the Reds.
All right. All right. Tomorrow is opening day, and it is the single most important day in the city of Cincinnati, because millions of people, not millions, but 1 million people will probably flock around Great American Ballpark and around the door and all that around the stadium. If you want to watch the opening day parade, be sure to watch it on one of the 4 channels here, because MVCC is streaming it again for the second straight year. So definitely be sure to follow that. I'll definitely have that on at work tomorrow, because Chris Sabo is the Grand Marshal.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite players from the 90s.
I love the glasses.
Yes.
Every time I see him, just those big, blocky, they look like basement windows on his face.
That's one way to put it.
So, some not good news. Tyler Stevenson starting the season on the IL.
And so is Austin Hayes.
Austin Hayes, too. Yep, that's
and
not good.
Diaz.
And Abbott.
Oh, I didn't see Abbott.
Well, he might not actually be on the IL, but he is not. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
on
He got
the 24th. That was
he had
Monday.
an injury early, at the beginning of camp or whatever. So he got a late start.
Oh, it's his rotator. Yeah.
They're talking, but I'm hearing 4 or 5, the 3 or 4 starts in the minors. He might be ready.
I was about to say they only put him on the 15, so it's
not super. They don't think he's super far behind, but he is a little behind.
Oh, and Rhett Lauder.
Yeah.
That one's new. Forearm strain. So yeah, we gotta.
But none of that I'm too worried about. Brandon Williamson, hate the fact that didn't he have Tommy John or something? So he's trying to come back from that. We'll see if that happens this year.
And Austin Wins is on the DL to start. Who the hell's playing catcher?
Trevino.
Oh, okay. I was about to say we got 2 catchers on the injured list to start. Who the hell's? I mean, I guess you can just throw it at the umpire and run up and get it.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny.
But I can't wait to see. I've seen some highlights. I'm interested to see how this pitch challenge that the batter can do immediately after, if they don't think it's a strike,
So
it's going
that
to work.
is this year?
I feel like it is. Let me Google it, because I want to be sure. Or sorry, the batter challenge.
I'm pretty sure Spencer Steer was on the IL. I think he got removed. I think he got removed because last night when they were here in Dayton doing that, he did a little bit of batting. So from my understanding, he's not ready to. He is throwing right now, but he's not ready to play defense.
Okay.
But he will be
Hey, you can
available to
bat.
bat. Yeah, exactly.
Got the deal. And I hopefully they wear those uniforms at some point in the regular season. I like those alternate ones they wore last night.
With the no red trim. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I didn't actually watch it, but
I didn't watch. I just saw pictures somebody posted. It looks like it is this year. The ABS, the Automated Ball Strike Challenge System. I'll just read the rules for it. Teams get two challenges per game to overturn the umpire's call, but it only can come from the batter, the pitcher, or the catcher can initiate it without any dugout assistance.
Got you.
So it's got to be immediately right after the call as well. And it doesn't say if you get, so you can challenge it twice. So it doesn't matter if you get one wrong, the first one wrong, it doesn't matter. The only way it's initiated is if the catcher or batter tap their helmet or the pitcher taps his head. And I'm glad they're just limiting it to 2 because that would make baseball a whole hell of a lot longer of a game. Mm-hmm. Well, let's just do every pitch. No.
So, okay.
All right, let's take a look at the Reds. We want to go roster, depth chart.
Oh, so something I'm not happy about. I hope that we're able to get him back, but I think it was earlier today we DFA'd Spencer Fairchild. Stuart Fairchild. Yeah, because we ran out of options with him. So hopefully he can make it through and we can get him back in the minors.
Terry Francona said, I saw a tweet last week that they said that he wasn't going to be on the roster cuts, but well, I guess if you root, it will.
Yeah, hopefully he can come back, but I'm pretty sure. Yep. Steer will not go on from 2 hours ago. Steer will not go on IL. Reds to DFA Fairchild and place Hayes on the IL. So.
Okay.
So that sucks. I don't like that because I'm a big Stuart Fairchild fan.
Yeah, I loved him.
He's a great defender out there in the outfield, super athletic, and when he gets on base, he can steal a lot of bags because he is ridiculously fast. So I don't like that. It seems as though Santiago Espinal, in my opinion, might get to play a lot this year because Candelario, from what I heard, as much as I love him, didn't look good last night on third base playing defense.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't get that together quickly. If Tito goes and starts playing
he ain't gonna
Espinal all the time because Santiago Espinal is a very good defender. So happy to have Matt McClain back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Same with CES. Mm-hmm. He got hurt so early last year that he like never was able to even get into any kind of a groove. It's really interesting having Graham Ashcraft as the reliever here to start things out. Interesting way to be able to eat up innings. I wouldn't be shocked if Martinez, if some of the younger guys, and like if Abbott's able to come back and be good right away, and if right now Carson Spires is the 5th.
Okay.
But if Louder is able to get healthy and then look really good, I wouldn't be shocked if they could move Martinez back there as well. And I think they got a couple of guys in the bullpen that can take innings extra long. And then there's still, like, Ian Jabot is still recovering from injury from last season.
Yeah.
He's not ready yet. But the pitching, how good it was last year, I think it's going to be even better this year. I'm very excited because the depth that we have
I'm hoping because
pitching is crazy.
It's been up and down so much the last handful of years. Like 1 year it'll be super great, and then next year, so hopefully I think Tito can level that out in a way that he'll keep us competing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I heard he did an interview with Tom Brenneman within the last couple weeks, and it was just refreshing listening to the way he talks about baseball. And he's talking about how they're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to make the right plays. And
he said in his introduction speech with the Reds, he didn't come out of retirement to not make the playoffs and not win. So I'm all for it.
Hey, dude, if this team can stay healthy, I am very excited about what can be done because even a lot of these young players that we got, I'm really excited about. Like, which one of the young outfielders is going to make a move and maybe be good this year? Is it going to be Blake Dunn? Is it going to be Hurtubise? Is Reese Hines going to have another showing? Any of that would be fantastic. I don't think Hurtubise has the best bat, but he made the opening day roster.
He made the 40-man roster?
He was the last outfielder that made it. So with Hayes' injury, they wanted another body out there. I'm just so excited for baseball season, dude. Excited.
I am too, so we'll definitely be able to talk about that more and more often as we get in. And now, by the time next week comes around, I saw an article that I have saved, and I'm not going to even, I'll tell you, it's about ballpark foods this year, new ballpark foods that are coming around the MLB. I'm not going to send it to you because I want your honest reactions to see what some of these are. I can't wait to see what the Reds are going to do for theirs, see if they do anything. It's hard to top that City Connect jersey from last year, the black, but...
Yeah, that one's really good, really good. And, man, I hope they bring back the Viking.
I know. I don't know why the hell they got rid of that.
Yeah, I hope they bring it back.
They went stupid with it.
I really love the Viking celebration. So let's bring it back, boys. But
hopefully it'll happen a couple times tomorrow.
That'd be great. Yeah. What did we do all year last year? We predicted the next week of games. So it's that time again.
All right. How many games are there from here to next week?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 games between now and then. The only day that we don't play
is Friday.
Yeah. So, and then, well, we could either be in very good moods or in very bad moods next week.
God, I got to pull the schedule back up.
So the first 3 are against San Francisco.
All right.
I think we will win opening day.
Yes.
I wish they reported who their starters were.
San Francisco did that a lot last year too.
Because that would make me feel a lot better about that. But I just went to their page too. They don't have it.
Okay. So who's going second for us then?
Lodolo.
Dolo. Okay. Come on, ESPN.
I'm gonna say that we're gonna start off 2-0, and we're gonna drop the third one. That's a Martinez start.
All right.
And then we got 3 against Texas. Not an easy start to the season.
Do they have their pitchers listed yet? Probably
yes.
not. Oh, they
Rocker,
do.
Evaldi, and Leiter. Leader? Is that it?
Leiter. I think it's Leiter.
We have Singer playing against Texas, and then I would assume since...
So it'll probably be back to green, hopefully, for Evaldi.
Singer and no, I think it'll be Spires, because remember, he's the 5th guy right now.
Shit.
Spires played good for
I would feel more confident picking us to win the Evaldi game if it was green.
For sure.
The Reds we'll be above 500. We will be, well, I guess we're going to be above 500. We'll be 3-2 by the time we come back next week.
That feels right.
Wait, we only have 2 with San Francisco?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, then we can't be 3-2. Oh, never mind. We play, is that Wednesday night then? The Texas game?
No. We play Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then we play Texas again on Wednesday night, but...
Oh, so we won't pick that game. So.
Yeah, we're not. That's next week, yeah. I mean, we can pick it. Because I would think that would be green versus Leiter.
Oh, yeah, we'll pick it and talk about it. So, yeah, we'll be 3-2 then by the time we come back next week.
Yeah, if we're picking the other Texas game, I think we could be 4-2 or 5-1.
Yeah, by the time this airs, 4-2, I'll say. Because I think we'll get that green win against them.
By the time that one airs.
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking. And that the Wednesday one is a business day special. They're starting them out real quick this year.
Shit, they are.
Yeah, noon 12:40 start.
Although we do have to pick that game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because we don't.
By the time we get in here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So 4. what is it? 4-1.
4-2.
4-2.
Because we got that would. If you're the same as me, I would have us possibly losing the Evaldi one and possibly losing the Martinez one. Yep. So that's what I was thinking.
All right. So that will do it for this week's episode of Play by Play. Glad baseball season is back. And then I guess like and share the show, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then we will be back next week. Hopefully in better moods. If not, there ain't gonna be no bobbleheads on this shelf. if we are winless, I might not show up. But I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, I highly doubt that happens. But Tito said it himself. He was like, some years I come in and I feel like we're gonna do great, and we start 1-9. Some years I come in and I'm like, I don't know, and then we start out 9-1. So you never really know. You just got to get out there, start playing the games. And I'm so excited for that tomorrow. Let's go Reds. See you guys next week.